Before we begin, take a moment to get comfortable. Let your arms go heavy, your breath slow. And as you listen, feel free to leave a comment sharing what time it is, where you are, and what city or village you're listening from. It's love to know. And if you'd like more quiet stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe so they gently appear when you need them most. Now, let's begin. The quiet vastness beyond us begins where sight ends, when the last tree fades into shadow, when the mountains dim into outlines. When clouds dissolve into darkness, the sky opens like a great canvas. Above, the stars scatter, and through their scattering, the immensity of the universe is revealed. It is larger than any horizon the human mind can hold. The universe stretches outward in silence. It does not roar, it does not rush. Instead, it expands with the patience of deep time. Galaxies drift apart as though lanterns set upon invisible winds, each one carrying billions of suns, billions of worlds, billions of stories that remain unspoken. Every direction, north or south, east or west, leads not to an end, but to more distance, more stars, more silence. The night is quiet, and still the vastness continues when astronomers look with their largest telescopes. What they see is not a ceiling, but an unbroken stretch. There is no wall, no edge, no border where the cosmos ends. What we call the universe is simply everything the space, the time, the matter, the energy woven into one vast fabric. And still, it keeps unfolding. This silence is deceptive, for though we hear nothing, motion is everywhere. Stars burn, galaxies spin, planets turn, even the empty void itself expands. The universe is not a still picture, but a living sea. The night is quiet, but filled with motion too large for sound. The horizon of infinity, when we stand beneath the stars, we see only a fraction of what is there. The human eye can count perhaps a few thousand points of light on the darkest night. Yet the Milky Way alone holds over 400 billion stars. And beyond the Milky Way are galaxies without number, each one holding more stars than we could ever name. Astronomers estimate that in the observable universe, meaning the portion of the cosmos from which light has had time to reach us, there may be 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy is a city of stars. Each star may carry its own planets, moons, and dust. And yet, even 2 trillions is not the end. It is only what we can see so far, bound by the speed of light. Beyond that boundary, more may exist, stretching outward endlessly. The night is quiet, and horizons retreat as we reach for them. Infinity is not easy to hold in the mind. To imagine something without edge is like trying to imagine the sea without a shore. But this is what the universe offers: a vastness with no clear ending, only distance upon distance, folding into more. And somehow, though its scale is beyond measure, the vastness feels gentle. It does not press down, Nate. It does not crush. It surrounds us like an embrace too wide to see all at once. The expansion of space, the universe, is not only vast, it grows vaster still. Space itself stretches as though the very fabric of reality was slowly unrolling. Galaxies do not move apart because they are sailing through space like ships. They move apart because space itself expands between them. It is like dots on the surface of a balloon. As the balloon inflates, the dots drift farther from one another, not because they move, but because the surface grows. In this way, galaxies drift apart with cosmic patience. Each moment, the universe becomes a little larger than before. The night is quiet, and yet expansion continues without pause. This expansion began nearly 14 billion years ago in the moment we call the Big Bang, but that word can mislead. It was not an explosion in space. It was the birth of space itself. From a state of unimaginable density, the universe unfolded, not into emptiness, but into itself. Ever since, it has carried galaxies outward in a silent migration. When we look far into the cosmos, we look back in time. Light from distant galaxies has traveled billions of years to reach us. In that light, we see the universe as it once was, smaller, younger, denser. The farther we look, the younger the universe appears. And always, beyond what we can see, lies more distance, more mystery. The night is quiet, and the universe grows older with every beam of light. The fragile scale of human life against this backdrop of vastness. Human life seems small. The earth itself is but a grain of dust compared to a galaxy, and the galaxy itself is only one lantern in the cosmic drift. Civilizations rise and fall in the blink of a cosmic eye. Mountains erode, rivers carve valleys, continents drift tall within what, to the universe, is only a brief flicker. And yet, our smallness is not despair, it is belonging. We are part of this vastness, woven of the same particles that burn in stars and drift in nebulae. The hydrogen in our breath, the carbon in our bones, the iron in our blood, all were born in cosmic furnaces long before Earth existed. We are children of galaxies, built from their dust. The night is quiet, and within it, the cosmos continues to speak through us. Silence that holds everything. Space is not empty, though it feels so. Between stars stretches vacuum, thinner than any breath we could survive. Yet even this vacuum hums faintly with energy. Particles flicker into being, then fade, like sparks too small to see. Gravity stretches through this emptiness, binding galaxies, bending light, shaping the paths of stars. This silence is full. It is filled with the weightless threads of gravity, the faint glow of ancient radiation, the hidden presence of dark matter. We drift inside this fullness, even if we call it empty. The night is quiet. And emptiness is never truly empty. Galaxies as lanterns in the dark picture. The galaxies, vast spirals with arms outstretched, glowing with stars. Some are elliptical, smooth and round, like great glowing eggs. Others are irregular, shaped like broken clouds. Each one holds suns beyond counting, yet from afar, each glimmers as a single spark. Our Milky Way is one such spark. To us, it feels endless, yet to the universe, it is but one light among trillions. These galaxies drift apart in the cosmic expansion, yet they also gather in clusters, families of light bound together by gravity. Between them lie voids, great expanses where few galaxies shine. The night is quiet, and the lanterns drift endlessly. Comfort of perspective. When we rest beneath the stars, we may feel very small, and yet there is comfort in this scale. To be small is to be free of carrying the weight of everything. To be small is to be part of something vast, something ancient, something that continues whether or not we notice. The vastness is not hostile. It is not cruel. It simply is patient, quiet, unfolding. It has carried galaxies for billions of years and will carry them for billions more. And in one brief chapter of that story, it carries us too. The night is quiet, and the vastness does not judge. The gentle bridge to light the universe stretches outward in silence, without edge, without end. Galaxies drift like lanterns on invisible winds. Horizons retreat each time we reach for them. And still, the stars continue to glow. In their glow lies history. For when we look at them, we do not see them as they are now, but as they once were. Each beam of light is a memory, a message from the past, crossing the dark to meet us in the present. The quiet vastness beyond us is filled not only with distance, but with time itself, time carried in light. And so the journey continues from vastness into vision, from silence into the gentle glow of ancient light. Asterisk. The gentle glow of ancient light reaches us across the silence of the night sky when we raise our eyes to the stars. What we see is not the present, but the past messages carried across space, patiently traveling, crossing the dark for thousands, even millions of years before meeting our gaze. A star shining above may no longer exist. Its life may have ended in collapse or explosion ages ago, yet its light continues the journey, still spilling across the cosmos to arrive here in this quiet moment. Every glimmer in the night is both presence and memory, a flame that is not only now but also then. The night is quiet, and in its quiet, light arrives like whispers from long ago. Light, as a messenger of time light, moves swiftly, faster than anything we know about 300,000 kilometers in a single second. In one heartbeat, it could circle Earth 7 times. And yet, the universe is so vast that even this speed becomes slow. From the sun to Earth, light takes a little over 8 minutes. So the warmth on our skin, the brilliance in the sky, what we feel is the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. From the next nearest star, Proxima Centauri, the journey is over 4 years long. Its faint red glow reaching us tonight began its journey in a time already behind us, and from galaxies far away. Light has traveled not years, but billions of years. To look into deep space is to look into deep history. Telescopes do not just extend our sight, extend our memory, allowing us to see what the universe was doing before Earth existed, before the sun had ignited, before oceans filled our planet's basins. The night is quiet, and light stretches across its silence, patient as time itself. The glow of ancient stars, every star becomes a beacon of its own past. A white blue star may be young, burning hot, living fast. A red star may be older, dimmer, glowing with endurance. Yet what we see of them is always old. If a star is 500 light years away, then tonight we see it as it was 500 years ago. This means the night sky is a museum, a gallery of moments already finished. Each star is a portrait from the past, each constellation a map of history stitched together from different centuries. The Big Dipper is not one single moment, but a collection of time-sieged stars shining at us from a different era. The night is quiet, tear, and the constellations are archives, glowing softly in their fragments. Memory dot the long journey of photons. Light itself is made of photons, particles without mass, but with energy. They are born in the hearts of stars, in the fusion of hydrogen into helium, in the burning of nuclear fire. But even once created, a photon's journey is not immediate. In the core of the sun, photons are born in furious numbers. Yet to escape from the dense plasma around them, they bounce and scatter, deflected millions of times. A photon may take tens of thousands of years to climb outward from the sun's heart to its surface. Only then does it speed into space, rushing outward toward Earth. The light warming the planet today may have begun its life as energy inside the sun before the first humans walked upright. And now, at last, it completes its journey with a touch on leaves, skin, oceans, and eyes. The night is quiet, and the light we see is both ancient and immediate, patient yet swift. Galaxies, as time machines when telescopes gaze deep into the universe. They do more than magnify distance, they magnify time. Each faint galaxy seen in the deep sky is not only far away, but long ago. The Hubble Space Telescope once stared into a patch of darkness, no bigger than a grain of sand held at arm's length. Within that tiny window, thousands of galaxies appeared, each one billions of years old. Some of them were seen as they were shortly after the first stars ignited in the universe. Their light has been crossing space for over 13 billion years. To see them now is to peer almost all the way back to the beginning of everything. It's the glimpse, the first chapters of cosmic history. The night is quiet, and its depth holds not just space but memory, the starlight that shapes us. The glow of ancient light is not just something we observe it's something that built us. Inside stars, elements are forged. Hydrogen becomes helium. Helium becomes carbon, oxygen, and heavier elements. When massive stars die in great explosions, they scattered these materials across space. Our bodies, our bones, our blood carried these elements. The iron in our blood once glowed in a star. The calcium in our teeth was fused in the heart of some ancient sun. The carbon that shapes all life was carried across time in starlight, leased into clouds of dust and gas that later gathered to form planets and people. The night is quiet, and the starlight that built us still drifts above. The language of colors, starlight, is not all the same. Some shines white, some tinged with red, some glowing blue. The color tells a story. Blue stars burn hot and live short lives. Red stars burn cooler and live long. Yellow stars, like the sun, are steady, balanced between heat and endurance. With instruments, astronomers can split light into rainbows, into spectrums of color. In those rainbows lie details invisible to the eye, the fingerprints of elements, the traces of motion. Shift toward red reveals a star or galaxy drifting away. Shift toward blue shows it coming closer. Thus, light becomes a messenger of movement as well as time. The night is quiet, but in its glow, the universe speaks in color. The ancient background, glow beyond the stars, key beyond the galaxies. There is another light, the cosmic microwave background. It is the faint afterglow of the universe itself. It's a cooling remnant of the Big Bang. At first, the cosmos was too hot, too dense for light to travel freely. But as it expanded and cooled, light was released, spilling outward in every direction. That light still travels today, stretched into microwaves by billions of years of expansion. It fills every corner of the sky, not bright like stars, but faint, uniform, and ever-present. When we tune instruments to this frequency, we hear the universe's earliest whisper, a glow older than galaxies, older than stars. The night is quiet, and yet even emptiness carries light from the beginning. The patience of cosmic time to us, minutes and hours are weighty. Days and years mark change. But to the universe, these scales are brief flickers. Stars burn for millions of years. Galaxies evolve for billions. And light itself may take nearly as long just to arrive. When we look at the night sky, we participate in this patience. We join in the long rhythm of time, stretched far beyond our lifetimes, far beyond our histories. We rest in the slowness of light, in the truth that what we see tonight may have begun before the first rivers carved Earth's valleys, before the first forests grew, before the first ancestor spoke. The night is quiet, and time itself slows, when carried on beams of starlight. A soft bridge forward every star above us is more than a point of light, is a story told across silence. Light is history made visible, memory made radiant. The glow of ancient stars fills the sky not only with beauty, but with time itself. Stretched thin, folded into beams that finally reach us. But light does not only reveal time, it reveals distance. For as galaxies drift farther, their light stretches, reddens, shifts. The universe is expanding, and light itself carries the proof. It tells us not only what once was, but how the cosmos continues to move, to drift, to widen. And so, the journey carries us from light into motion, from memory into migration, into the endless drift of galaxies themselves. Asterisk, the endless drift of galaxies begins not with noise, but with silence. Across the great stretch of the universe, galaxies are in motion. They are not anchored. They are not still. Each one is carried outward as though set afloat upon a sea too wide to see. This sea is not water, not wind, not current. It is space itself, stretching like fabric beneath them. The galaxies do not move through it so much as ride upon its expansion. And because this expansion is everywhere, no galaxy can stand apart. All are carried, all are drawn outward. All are passengers in the slow unfolding of the cosmos. The night is quiet, okay? And yet in its silence, everything drifts. A universe that expands. When we look into the night sky, the stars of our own Milky Way seem still. They appear set into familiar constellations, patterns passed from one generation to another. Yet beyond these stars, beyond the faint haze of our own galaxy's glow, other galaxies move away. Their distances increase not because they fly outward, like stones cast from a hand, but because the very fabric of space stretches between us and them. Imagine a balloon, slowly inflated. Upon its surface are tiny dots, each one representing a galaxy. As the balloon grows, the dots move farther from one another. None is the center. Each is carried outward equally, each one seeing the others retreat. So it is with the universe. Every galaxy is both drifting and watching all others drift. The night is quiet, and the cosmos stretches softly outward, the discovery of the drift for most of human history. The sky seemed fixed, eternal. Stars circled the heavens, steady as a clock, and the Milky Way stretched unchanged from horizon to horizon. But in the 20th century, through the gaze of telescopes, astronomers began to notice something extraordinary. The light from distant galaxies carried a shift, a subtle reddening. This was not the red of the stars themselves, but a change in the wavelength of their light. It meant the galaxies were moving away. Their glow stretched as though by invisible hands. The farther away the galaxy, the greater the redshift. The conclusion was unavoidable. The universe is expanding. The night is quiet, key, but in its quiet, it carries proof of motion, key, proof of endless drift. Motion without centeroid is tempting to ask. If the galaxies are drifting outward, where is the center? Where is the origin from which all expands? But in truth, there is no single point of beginning within space. The expansion is not from a place, but from everywhere. Space itself stretches, so every point sees all others move away. To any observer, the universe appears to expand from their own position, not because they are the center, but because all positions are equal in this great unfolding. The universe holds no single throne. It is a patient ocean, every wave expanding, every shore receding, softly repeating its rhythm. Clusters that hold together, not all galaxies drift apart evenly. Gravity still has its say. Galaxies near one another form groups, bound by their shared attraction. Our Milky Way belongs to one such family, the local group, tied together with the Andromeda Galaxy, with smaller companions, with clusters of faint and fragile dwarfs. Though space stretches, the gravity between these neighbors is strong enough to hold them close. In fact, the Andromeda Galaxy drifts not away, but toward us on a slow journey that will take billions of years to complete. One day, our galaxies will meet, merging into a single spiral, or perhaps an elliptical giant. But beyond our group, the expansion continues, carrying more distant galaxies ever farther from sight. The night is quiet, and within it, both approach and retreat coexist. The scale of expansion in human scales. The expansion of the universe is invisible. The space between cities does not grow wider with time. The ground beneath mountains does not stretch with cosmic drift. Expansion works only on the largest scales, where galaxies float apart across millions of light years. Even then, the drift is gentle. Every million light years of distance adds only a few dozen kilometers per second to the speed of recession. faint, but multiply this across billions of light years, and the speed grows immense. Some galaxies are already receding so swiftly that their light, stretched thin by expansion, will never reach us again. They are lost to us, still existing, but forever beyond contact. The night is quiet, but its horizon slips farther each moment. Galaxies, as migrants of time, each galaxy becomes not only a structure of stars, but a traveler. Spirals with graceful arms, ellipticals like glowing clouds, irregular galaxies with chaotic forms are migrants upon the ocean of space-time. They do not row, they do not steer, they are carried. Their destinies are written in the invisible equations of expansion. In the balance between gravity's pull and space's stretch, some are bound in clusters, huddled like families against the tide. Others, solitary, drift endlessly, their light reaching us for now, but destined to fade into silence. The night is quiet, and every galaxy drifts, softly repeating the journey, expansion, as the universe's breath. Some speak of the universe expanding as though it breathes. In its earliest moments, it expanded swiftly, a flash of growth, so rapid it outran comprehension. Since then, the breath has slowed, yet it continues, steady, patient. Now, we see it not as explosion, but as rhythm, long inhales stretched across billions of years. What lies beyond this breath? Does the universe continue forever, stretching thinner until stars grow cold and galaxies vanish from one another's view? Or does gravity, dark matter, or unknown forces hold another destiny? For now, we rest within the expansion, within the breath itself. Carried by its current, the night is quiet, and the breath of the cosmos continues. Unbroken, the future of the driftwat becomes of a universe that expands forever. Galaxies will continue to slip away. Their light will grow faint, stretched beyond visibility. In distant ages, only our local group will remain visible to its inhabitants. All others will have receded beyond reach. Civilizations of the far future may not know what we know. They may see only a dark sky, their telescopes finding no galaxies, no expansion, no drift. The evidence will have passed beyond the horizon. The cosmos will seem smaller, though in truth it has grown vast beyond comprehension. The night is quiet, and its silence grows deeper with time. The light that still reaches yet, even as galaxies drift. Their light continues to arrive. Beams begun billions of years ago still make their way toward us, bridging the growing distance, offering glimpses of what once was. In this sense, expansion is not only separation, but revelation. We are given a chance to see the past, to know the universe as it was when it was younger, when galaxies first formed, when stars first burned. Light travels faster than change can erase it. For now, the night remains rich with stories, with glimmers that carry memory. The sky is filled not only with absence, but with arrival. With countless journeys completing themselves in quiet, the night is quiet, and the arrivals continue softly, repeating the drift as continuity. Perhaps the most soothing truth is that this drift is not hurried. It is steady, almost gentle, like countenance moving across oceans, like mountains rising millimeter by millimeter. The galaxies expand apart, not in haste, but in patience. Their motion is not frantic, but eternal. In this way, the expansion resembles the slow growth of a forest, the shifting of tides, the turning of seasons. It is the largest rhythm we know, but it echoes the smaller ones. All cycles are repetitions of time, whether in days, years, or eons. The night is quiet, and expansion is its softest rhythm, a soft bridge forward as galaxies drift, as expansion carries them outward. We are reminded that the universe is not static. It is alive, with motion, with growth, with transformation. Galaxies recede, but stars still shine. Clusters remain, but distances widen. The cosmos is a river flowing outward in every direction, but within this river there are moments of creation. New stars ignite, born in clouds of dust and gas. They shine not for moments, but for millions, even billions of years, filling the silence with light. And so, our attention turns from the drift of galaxies to the quiet birth of stars, to the glowing cradles where light begins again. The night is quiet, and within it, stars are waiting to be born. Asterisk, the birth of a star is among the quietest events in the universe. There is no roar, no thunder, no sudden flash at first glance. Instead, it begins with darkness, vast clouds of gas and dust suspended across light years, cold and unlit. These clouds wait in silence, appearing to us as empty shadows against the glowing background of galaxies. Yet within them, something stirs. These dark nebulae are the cradles of creation. They may drift unnoticed for millions of years until gravity begins its patient work. Molecule by molecule, atom by atom, the gas within the cloud feels the pull. Tiny motions, imperceptible on human scales, accumulate. The cloud begins to collapse, not in haste, but in the slow inevitability of physics. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, matter begins to gather. The gathering of dust. Imagine grains of dust floating in still air. Left alone, they would drift apart, scattered by the faintest breeze. But in the depths of space, where winds are weak and silence reigns, gravity ensures they will not remain scattered forever. Each particle pulls upon the next, faintly, invisibly. At first, the attraction is delicate, like the brush of a feather against skin. Yet, as more particles come together, their combined gravity strengthens. The small grows into the larger, and the larger into the vast. These clouds can span dozens, even hundreds of light years, and within them lie enough material to form thousands of stars. Yet, they remain dim to human eyes, because dust hides their inner glow. Only in infrared light, invisible to us, but captured by telescopes, do we see the warmth of their interiors glowing softly, hinting at the stars to come. The hum continues, the silence deepens, and gravity gathers the dust. The first motions as the cloud collapses, it fragments. No single star will be born, but many, each one from a separate knot of material. These knots contract further, becoming denser, warmer, more compact. The collapse speeds slowly, yet over thousands and millions of years, it transforms. A core forms in the center, not yet a star, but the embryo of one. The temperature rises as atoms fall inward. Collisions become frequent, though still invisible to the outside world. Pressure builds, resisting gravity's pull, creating a balance that delays but cannot halt collapse. These objects are called protostars, youthful suns in the making. They are not yet luminous in the way true stars are. Instead, they glow faintly with heat, shrouded in the gas and dust that birthed them. Around them, disks of material swirl, some of which may one day form planets. For now, though, the story is not about planets, but about light. The night is quiet, but warmth begins to stir within the shadows. The ignition of light lasts after eons of slow compression. The temperature at the core of the protostar reaches millions of degrees. Here, in this hidden heart, hydrogen atoms collide with such intensity that they merge, fusing into helium. This process, nuclear fusion, is the spark of starlight. The change is profound. Fusion releases vast energy, not as an explosion, but as a steady outpouring. Pressure from this energy pushes outward, balancing the inward pull of gravity. A star is born when this balance is achieved, when fusion sustains itself from the outside. The cloud may still hide the newborn star, yet, eventually, winds of radiation and heat push the dust away. revealing a bright point of light where once there was only darkness. To us, it appears as though a star has suddenly flickered on in the night sky. But in truth, its creation was slow, patient, inevitable. The night is quiet, and now a new light shines within it. Nurseries of light, these birthplaces of stars' nebulae are among the most beautiful sights in the universe. To the naked eye, they are faint smudges, but through telescopes, they bloom with color. The Orion Nebula, for instance, lies just beyond the belt of Orion's constellation. It glows in pinks and purples, lit from within by the stars it has already produced. It is a stellar nursery where thousands of suns are forming, some perhaps destined to host planets, oceans, and life. Each nebula is temporary. As stars form, their radiation scatters the gas and dust that gave them life. The nursery dissolves, leaving behind young stars and perhaps the beginnings of solar systems. Yet elsewhere, new clouds form, and the cycle repeats. The hum continues, softly repeating: collapse, ignition, light. The scale of time, the birth of a star, takes millions of years. For us, a moment is seconds or minutes. For Earth, an age may be measured in centuries. But for the universe, time is vast, patient, unhurried. Star formation is not sudden, not dramatic. It is a slow breathing, a rhythm stretched across eons. When we look at the night sky, we see stars in every stage of this process. Some are newborns, still surrounded by disks of dust. Others are middle-aged, like our sun, steady and reliable. Still others are nearing the end of their lives, soon to swell, fade, or collapse. Skies, a mosaic of ages, a quiet library of stellar lifespans. The night is quiet, and it holds every stage of existence. The fragile balance for a star to exist. Balance is everything. Gravity pulls inward, fusion pushes outward. Too little gravity, and fusion cannot begin. Too much, and collapse overwhelms. But in the right measure, the forces meet in equilibrium, and the star endures. This balance can last for billions of years. For smaller stars, the balance is delicate but long-lived. Their fuel consumes slowly, their light steady. For larger stars, balance burns brighter, faster, exhausting fuel in only a few million years. Size determines destiny, yet all share the same birth, the quiet gathering of dust, the ignition of light. The hum continues, softly repeating. Its balance sustains the stars. Stars, as storytellers, every atom within us comes from this process. The carbon in our bodies, the oxygen we breathe, the calcium in our bones all were created within stars. When massive stars die, they scatter these elements into space, seeding the clouds from which new stars and planets form. In this way, star birth and star death are not separate stories, yet chapters of one great cycle. Each star born today carries within it the ashes of countless stars before it, and each will, in turn, contribute to the stars of tomorrow. The universe is not only expanding outward, it is recycling inward, reusing, recreating, softly repeating its patterns of birth. The night is quiet, but within it lies continuity, written in light. The future of star birth, star formation, has been most active in the early universe. Billions of years ago, galaxies were rich in gas and dust, producing stars at rates far greater than today. Now, as gas supplies diminish, the birth of stars slows. It will not cease soon. There is still enough material for trillions of new suns, but one day, far in the future, the universe will grow quiet. No new stars will form, and the galaxies will fade into darkness. For now, though, star birth continues. Nebulae still glow. Protostars still ignite. New light still flickers into being across the universe. The rhythm endures, softly repeating, patiently unbroken. The night is quiet, stars are still being born. A soft bridge forward, the quiet birth of stars reminds us of patience, of cycles, of creation without hurry. From clouds of darkness come suns of light, each one a beacon in the vastness. They are born in silence, live in silence, and yet their existence shapes everything. As we drift deeper into the story of the cosmos, we move from the beginnings of stars to the lives they live, their patient burning, their steady light, their balance across billions of years. The universe does not rush. It burns gently, steadily, endlessly. The night is quiet, and the patient lives of stars await our gaze. Asterisk. The life of a star is not like the life of a creature. It does not rush through youth, stumble into maturity, and fade quickly into age. Instead, a star lives on scales of time so immense that human years shrink to moments. A star does not measure its existence in days or even in centuries. It measures in millions, in billions, in spans so vast that civilizations can rise, fall, and be forgotten while the star continues to glow. Seemingly unchanged, the night is quiet, and in that quiet, suns endure. The balance that sustains every star begins with balance. Gravity pulls inward, pressing atoms toward the center. Fusion pushes outward, releasing energy that resists collapse. These two forces, gravity and fusion, are the heart of a star's patience. If either were stronger, the star's story would be brief, but when they meet in harmony, the star holds steady. This balance is delicate, yet remarkably enduring. For stars like our sun, it can last for billions of years. Gravity never tires, always pulling. Fusion never rushes, always burning fuel at the pace gravity demands. Together, they create the steady light that warms planets, drives winds, and allows life to exist. The hum continues, softly repeating. Its balance holds the star in place. A middle-aged sun, our own sun, is not young, yet not old. It is about halfway through its life, already 4.6 billion years old, with another 5 billion or so still to come. When we look at it, we see steadiness, the same dawn, the same midday light, the same sunset glow. To us, the sun feels eternal, but in cosmic terms, it is simply middle-aged, holding steady in its most reliable stage. This stage is called the main sequence, the long period when hydrogen fuses steadily into helium. For small stars, this sequence can last trillions of years. For large stars, it may last only millions, regardless of size. This is the chapter of patience, the chapter of quiet endurance. The night is quiet, and even the stars that fill it are not rushing. The scale of stellar lifespans, the smallest stars, called red dwarfs, are the true elders of the cosmos. Though faint and cool compared to our sun, they burn so slowly that they may live for trillions of years longer than the universe itself has existed so far. None has yet reached the end of its life, for the cosmos is still too young. Medium stars, like our sun, live for billions of years. They are brighter, warmer, and more capable of nurturing life on planets within their reach. Their patience is vast, but not infinite. One day, even they will change. The largest stars live the shortest lives. Its blue giants, blazing with heat and brilliance, consume their fuel so quickly that they survive only a few million years of brief flare on the scale of the universe. They are dazzling but fleeting, like sparks in the dark dot. In every case, though, stars endure far beyond human time. They live longer than mountains, longer than oceans, longer than memory. The hum continues, softly repeating, across lifespans that dwarf imagination. The steadiness of light. When we look at the stars at night, we see constancy. A star that rises above the horizon will return the next night, and the next, and for thousands of years to come. Ancient civilizations marked time by the patterns of the stars. confident in their reliability. Farmers planted by their return, sailors navigated by their steadiness, and poets wrote of their permanence. This constancy is not illusion. These stars shine because of processes that are remarkably stable. A hydrogen atom in a star's core collides, fuses, and releases energy, and the rhythm repeats, trillions upon trillions of times each second, without pause, without variation. The process continues. The star hums with this steady fire, invisible to the eye, but visible in its glow. The night is quiet, and within it, the stars keep their rhythm. Stars as givers of time. Without the patience of stars, life as we know it could not exist. Life requires stability, steady warmth, steady light, steady energy over long stretches. A star that burned too quickly would not give enough time for oceans to form, for continents to settle, for life to evolve. Only through patience does life flourish. Our sun has provided this steady light for billions of years, and will continue to do so for billions more. In its glow, earth cooled, oceans condensed, life sparked and grew. All of this was possible because the sun does not hurry. Its life is a gift of time. The hum continues, softly repeating, and within it, time unfolds. The quiet work of fusion at the heart of every star. Fusion is at work. Hydrogen becomes helium. Mass becomes energy. Energy becomes light. The process is invisible, hidden beneath millions of kilometers of gas. Yet its effects are everywhere. Warmth on our skin, daylight across the land, photosynthesis in leaves. The sparkle of reflection in seas. Fusion is gentle in its persistence. It does not surge or falter. It burns steadily, creating photons that slowly, across tens of thousands of years, work their way from the core to the surface, where they stream outward as sunlight. The light we see today may have been born in the heart of the sun before human history began. The night is quiet, and the patient fire within stars continues unseen. The slow drift toward change, though steady, stars do change. Over billions of years, as hydrogen is consumed, the balance shifts. Fusion continues, but the core contracts, the outer layers expand. A star like our sun will swell into a red giant, its patience finally giving way to change. Yet even then, the process is slow, unfolding over millions of years. Stars do not leap from one stage to another. They transition gradually, like the slow turn of seasons. The red giant phase will one day transform our sun, swallowing nearby planets, altering Earth beyond recognition. But for now, and for billions of years still, the sun remains steady, unchanged to our eyes. The hum continues, softly repeating, even as change gathers far in the future. Stars as witnesses, because stars live so long, they serve as witnesses to history. The light from some stars has shone on Earth since before the rise of humanity, before the shaping of continents, before the cooling of oceans. Some will continue to shine long after we are gone. They mark the sky as reference points, but also as silent companions to our story. They have watched Earth's long transformation, its shifts, its life, its fleeting civilizations. They will watch whatever comes next, their patience undisturbed. The night is quiet, and the stars keep their watch. The symphony of ages, the galaxy itself, hums with the rhythm of stars in all stages. The young, middle-aged, the old, each contributes to the vast symphony, each note lasting millions or billions of years. From our perspective, it is a frozen chord, unchanging. From the perspective of the universe, it is a moving melody, evolving slowly across cosmic time. Patience defines the music. There are no sharp notes, no sudden endings, only gradual transitions, softly repeating. The song of stars is written in light, but performed in silence. The hum continues, softly repeating. And the symphony plays on stars as healers for life. Stars are not only sources of time, but also sources of healing. Their warmth drives the cycles of climate, the rhythm of seasons, the renewal of ecosystems. Even as stars slowly age, their constancy provides continuity. The patient lives of suns are not only endurance, but generosity. They give without intention, but with constancy. Their light is not selective. It falls equally on barren deserts and fertile valleys, on seas and stones, on life and silence alike. The night is quiet, and within it, stars give without pause. A bridge into the future. The patient lives of suns remind us that endurance is itself a kind of creation. By lasting, by holding balance, they provide the canvas on which other stories can unfold. They are steady lanterns in the vastness, burning longer than memory, longer than history. Yet even the most patient lives have their turning points. Stars, no matter their size, eventually approach endings. Some will fade softly, becoming white dwarfs, glowing embers in the dark. Others will end in brilliance, supernovas scattering their elements into space. And from these endings, new beginnings emerge, clouds of dust, new stars, new worlds. The night is quiet. From patience comes change. Asterix, the story of worlds begins not with planets themselves, but with dust. Not the dust that settles on shelves or drifts through beams of sunlight, but cosmic dust grains smaller than the width of a hair, scattered across the void. These grains are the fragments left behind by stars that once lived and died. A star explodes. It scatters its ashes across space. From those ashes, the seeds of new worlds are planted. The night is quiet. And within that quiet, dust drifts endlessly. The ashes of stars, every element, heavier than hydrogen or helium, was forged. In stars, carbon, oxygen, iron, siliconol, the materials that make planets solid, come from stellar furnaces. When stars end, they scatter these elements into space. Some float freely, while others condense into microscopic solids, the dust that becomes the foundation for planets. These grains are tiny, fragile, almost weightless, yet in numbers they are immense. Clouds of dust gather in regions called nebulae, vast and dim, stretching across light years. In these clouds, the future waits. It waits not in sudden bursts, but in patience measured across millions of years. The hum continues, softly repeating, as dust drifts through the dark. Gathering in silence, gravity is the architect of this process. Slowly, invisibly, it draws grains toward one another. Two specks collide and stick. Then they drift, colliding with others, growing larger. At first, they are no more than clusters, pebbles, floating in a vast ocean of gas. But with time, the clusters grow, becoming rocks, boulders, mountains, drifting through space. This process is not hurried. Millions of years may pass before a dust cloud begins to show structure, yet the patience of gravity is endless. It continues to gather, continues to pull, until the scattered dust forms larger and larger bodies. These are called planetesimals, the building blocks of planets. The night is quiet, and within it, collisions shape the unseen future. The chaos of creation, though gentle from a distance, the birth of worlds, is filled with quiet violence. As planetesimals grow, they collide with force, shattering, merging, reshaping. Heat builds, surfaces melt, cores form. Worlds do not appear smooth and finished. They began as molten, scarred, chaotic. Out of this chaos, order emerges. Over time, some bodies grow larger, drawing others in with their gravity. The biggest become planets, sweeping their paths clean, gathering material until they dominate their orbits. Some remain small, becoming asteroids or moons. The process is uneven, filled with accidents. Yet the rhythm repeats across every star system. The hum continues, softly repeating as chaos becomes a pattern. The shapes of worlds. Not all planets are alike. Some, like Earth and Mars, are rocky formed, close to their stars, where heat drove away lighter gases, leaving only stone and metal. Others, like Jupiter and Saturn, are giants, built farther away, where cold allowed them to gather vast envelopes of gas. Between these types are many variations: icy worlds, water worlds, gas dwarfs, super-Earths. Each shape depends on distance, temperature, and chance. Yet every planet begins with dust. From the tiniest grain, the grandest sphere is born. Roundness itself is the gift of gravity. It's pulling material inward until all irregularities are smoothed away. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, dust becomes worlds. Time measured in eons. Human time cannot easily grasp planetary time. A city rises in centuries. A civilization flourishes in millennia. But planets form in millions, in hundreds of millions. The Earth itself took tens of millions of years to gather its mass, and hundreds of millions more to cool into a world where oceans could condense. To watch a planet form is to watch patience itself. Clouds shift slowly. Bodies grow gradually. Heat dissipates across ages. What feels like eternity to us is simply rhythm to the cosmos. The hum continues, softly repeating, across spans longer than imagination. The quiet gift of moons. Planets are not always alone. Many carry companions, moons formed from the same dust, or captured later by gravity's reach. Earth's own moon is thought to have been born from a great collision when a Mars-sized body struck our young planet, scattering molten debris that coalesced into the glowing orb we see today. Moons shape planets in quiet ways. They steady spins, create tides, stir atmospheres. They may one day nurture life of their own, yet they too begin as dust gathered, melted, and remade into form. The night is quiet, and in it, moons drift as children of dust, rings, and leftovers. Not all material becomes planets or moons. Some remains in belts, asteroids circling between Mars and Jupiter. Icy comets drifting at the edges of the solar system. Rings of particles circling giant planets. These leftovers are reminders of the process, fragments that never grew large, enough to dominate. Yet, even in their smallness, they matter. Comets deliver water and organic molecules to young planets. Asteroids carry records of the early solar system, unchanged for billions of years. Rings glow with beauty, sunlight scattering across ice and rock. The dust that did not become worlds still shapes the story of worlds. The hum continues, softly repeating in fragments as well as spheres. The Earth, as example our own Earth, is a testament to this patience. Born from dust and rock, melted and reshaped, it cooled into oceans, crust, atmosphere. Its iron core formed a magnetic shield. Its crust fractured into continents. Its seas gathered life. Everything we see, mountains, rivers, forest grasses, back to dust grains, floating in a nebula billions of years ago. We live on dust transformed. Our bodies are built from atoms forged in stars, gathered in planets, cycled in oceans and soil. To say we are stardust is not poetry, but fact. And in that fact, there is quiet comfort. The night is quiet, and within it, dust remembers. Planets beyond our solar system is not unique. Around distant stars, telescopes have found thousands of planets, some small, some giant, some close to their suns, some far beyond. Many are strange, unlike anything here. Worlds of hot iron rain, of oceans without land, of atmospheres thick with methane. At their origins are the same. Dust, gathering patiently, shaped by gravity and time. Perhaps there are billions more. Perhaps most stars carry planets. Perhaps the universe is filled with worlds, each a variation on the same quiet theme. The hum continues, softly repeating as dust becomes countless homes. From chaos to belonging, it may seem strange that chaos creates order. Yet this is the rhythm of the cosmos. From scattered grains, spheres emerge. From collisions, balance arises. From silence, homes are built. The process is neither quick nor simple, but it is constant, repeating across star after star, system after system, and in this constancy there is belonging. We, too, are part of this rhythm, part of this transformation. Our world is not an exception, but a continuation. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, dust still gathers. A bridge toward life planets are not the end of the story, but the beginning. On their surfaces, atmospheres form, oceans gather, climates stabilize. On some, perhaps, life takes hold. Dust that became planets becomes soil, water, breath, being. The story of dust is not only about spheres in space, but about the possibility of life that follows. The hum continues, softly repeating, and dust waits for what comes next. Asterisk, the night sky is full of light. Stars shine across the heavens. Galaxies glow as distant islands, and nebulae drift as luminous clouds. Yet for all this brightness, most of the universe is invisible. What we see, the suns, the planets, the glowing arcs of galaxies, is only a small fraction of what is really there. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, something unseen holds it all together. The problem of motion in the early 20th century, astronomers began to notice a mystery. When they measured how galaxies spun, they expected stars near the edges to move more slowly than those near the center, just as planets far from the sun move slowly in their orbits. But this was not the case. Stars at the edges of galaxies moved too fast, as if pulled by gravity stronger than the visible matter could provide. The galaxies should have flown apart. Their stars scattered into space, and yet they remained bound. Something unseen must have been holding them together, something massive but invisible. The hum continues, softly repeating as galaxies spin in defiance of what we see. The name of a mystery astronomers called it dark matter, not because it is dark like shadow or soot, but because it does not emit or absorb light. It cannot be seen by telescopes, cannot be caught in images. It reveals itself only by its influence, like the wind moving through trees. Dark matter is known by its effect, not by its presence. Galaxies rotate the way they do because of it. Clusters of galaxies cling together because of it. Light bends around it, even though it cannot be seen. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, an invisible architecture holds, a hidden ocean to imagine dark matter. Think of it as an ocean in which galaxies drift like glowing lanterns. The lanterns are visible, flickering in the darkness, but the ocean itself is unseen. Without the water, the lanterns would not float. Without dark matter, galaxies could not hold their shapes. Astronomers believe dark matter makes up more than 80% of the universe's mass. All the stars, planets, gas, and dust we can see are only a small portion. The rest is this hidden ocean everywhere, surrounding us, flowing through space. In silence, the hum continues, softly repeating. In a sea we cannot touch, gravitational lens, though invisible, dark matter sometimes reveals itself through bending light. When a galaxy lies behind another massive cluster, its light curves on, its way to us distorted into arcs or rings. This effect is called gravitational lensing. The lens is not glass, but gravity. Dark matter, though unseen, provides much of that gravity. Its presence magnifies distant galaxies, creating ghostly arcs of light across the sky. In these distortions, we glimpse the invisible. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, light bends around mystery. What it is not, dark matter is not made of stars too faint to see. It is not dust, nor clouds of hidden gas. If it were, we would detect the light it blocks or emits. It is something else, something beyond the atoms that make up ordinary matter. Physicists propose particles we have never yet caught, particles that barely interact with the matter we know. These particles pass through stars, planets, even through our bodies without leaving a trace. The earth may be bathed in dark matter, and yet it moves through us like ghosts. The hum continues, softly repeating. As unseen particles slip past unnoticed, mapping the invisible. How do you map what cannot be seen? Astronomers use the movement of galaxies, the bending of light, the echoes of the early universe. Computer simulations, fed with the rules of physics and the presence of dark matter, create webs of filaments stretching across billions of light-dash years. In these simulations, galaxies gather where the filaments cross, like dew forming at the intersections of a cosmic web. The universe itself seems to be woven from this invisible matter. Threads pulling galaxies into structure. The night is quiet, and in its quiet, the web holds steady. The cosmic web imagined a spider's web stretched across the stars. Its threads are invisible, yet the dew upon them sparkles. Galaxies are like droplets, forming at the knots of intersection. The web itself is dark matter, stretched thin across space, binding the cosmos into a vast, interconnected lattice. This structure is not random. It repeats across scales, from clusters of galaxies to the largest filaments of the universe. Everywhere, the same hidden framework guides the visible. The hum continues, softly repeating across the unseen strands of the cosmic web. A silence that shapes dark matter does not burn. It does not collide in sparks or shine with heat. It is quiet, steady, patient, and yet without it, the universe will look entirely different. Galaxies might not have formed at all. Stars might not have gathered. Planets, oceans, forests, and life itself may never have emerged. The silence of dark matter is not absence, it is foundation. It is the unseen stage upon which the visible plays. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, foundations endure. The search continues. Physicists build detectors deep underground, shielded from radiation, hoping to catch a passing particle of dark matter. Sensitive instruments wait for the faintest interaction, a whisper in the silence. But so far, nothing has been confirmed. Telescopes scan the skies for new signs. Computer models refine the possibilities, and theories multiply. Some suggest ixions, some WIMPs, some other unknown particles. Others wonder if gravity itself behaves differently on the larger scales. The hum continues, softly repeating as the mystery resists every attempt to name it, living within the mystery for now. Dark matter remains unseen. It surrounds us, passes through us, holds galaxies together, and yet it remains beyond direct touch. We live within its embrace without knowing its nature. The mystery itself is part of the story. Perhaps that is its gift, a reminder that not everything must be visible to be real. Not everything must be known to be meaningful. The stars obey their hidden gravity, whether or not we understand it. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, we too are held. Toward the next question, dark matter explains much, but not all. It accounts for the binding of galaxies, for the shapes of clusters, for the web of the universe. Yet another mystery waits alongside it. Dark energy, the force that drives the expansion of the cosmos faster and faster. If dark matter holds the universe together, dark energy pushes it apart. The hum continues, softly repeating, and the silence points us toward the next enigma, the whisper of expansion, the quiet hand of dark energy. Asterisk, the universe is not silent, though it may seem so. Beyond the stars, beyond the galaxies, beyond the black void that stretches in every direction, there is a faint glow. It is not a light you can see with your eyes. It is not a sound you can hear with your ears. It is older, subtler, woven into the very fabric of space itself. This glow is called the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterlight of the universe's beginning. The night is quiet. The first echo still lingers. A relic of fire nearly 14 billion years ago, the universe began in heat and light. The Big Bang was not an explosion in space, but the rapid expansion of space itself, filling with energy so intense that matter and light were indistinguishable. For the first few 100,000 years, the universe was like a furnace, too hot for atoms to form, too dense for light to travel. But as it expanded, it cooled. Protons found electrons, and together they became atoms. With atoms in place, the fog lifted. Light was released, free to travel through space. That light has been traveling ever since, stretched thinner and cooler by the expansion of the universe. Today, it reaches us as microwaves, faint and nearly invisible, but still present everywhere. The hum continues, softly repeating, as the universe carries its memory forward. The discovery of a whispering the 1960s. Two scientists, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson, were working with a large radio antenna in New Jersey. They were trying to eliminate a persistent background noise in their instrument, a faint static that would not go away no matter what they did. They checked for faulty wires, for interference, even for pigeons nesting in the antenna. But the noise remained steady and uniform from every direction. What they had discovered, without realizing at first, was the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang itself. It was not interference. It was the universe whispering its origin story. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the universe's earliest light still hums. A glow everywhere. The remarkable thing about this background. Radiation is its evenness. No matter where you point an antenna, no matter where you look, the signal is there. It comes from every corner of the sky with nearly the same intensity. It is like being surrounded by the soft glow of a fire, long extinguished. Its warmth spread evenly across the cosmos. This light is not new. It is ancient, and it fills all of space. We live inside its embrace without even noticing. The hum continues, softly repeating in every direction of the night. A map of subtle patterns, though even the cosmic background is not perfectly smooth. Sensitive instruments, such as those aboard satellites like COBE, WMAP, and Planck, have measured tiny variations, minute ripples in temperature, only fractions of a degree. These ripples are important. They are the fingerprints of the early universe, the seeds from which galaxies, clusters, and cosmic structures would eventually form. Where the radiation is slightly warmer, matter was slightly denser. Over billions of years, those denser regions drew in more matter, forming stars, galaxies, and clusters. The universe we see today grew from these tiny imperfections. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, faint ripples tell the story of becoming. The cold glow of today, originally, this radiation, was blinding, hot, and bright. But the expansion of the universe has stretched its wavelength over billions of years, cooling it down. Today, it is only a few degrees above absolute zero. It's too faint for human senses to detect without special instruments. It is still there, though, an ocean of faint microwaves, filling every cubic centimeter of space. If your television ever displayed static in the days of analog signals, a small portion of that fuzz came from this ancient glow. Without realizing, people once watched the whisper of creation flicker on their screens. The hum continues, softly, repeating. It's present even in the static of silence. a window into the past, because the cosmic microwave background is so old. Looking at it is like looking back in time. It shows us the universe, not as it is today, but as it was when it was only 380,000 years old, baby compared to its current age. Through it, astronomers can study the early conditions of the cosmos. They can measure its expansion, estimate its age, and test ideas about what happened in the first moments after the Big Bang. The background radiation is like an old photograph, faded but still rich with information, capturing a time when the universe was just beginning to take shape. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, we see the universe as an infant, the harmony of silence, though faint. The background is everywhere. It has no edges, no gaps. It is not a local phenomenon, but a cosmic one, the same in distant galaxies as it is here. It binds us to the rest of the cosmos, a shared memory of origin. It is humbling to know that no matter where we go, whether on Earth, the solar system, or to the farthest reaches of space, the same glow surrounds us. It is the common inheritance of all matter, all light, all beings. The hum continues, softly repeating, connecting every place to the same beginning. The science of precision, the measurements of the cosmic microwave background have become more precise with each generation of instruments. Satellites orbit Earth with detectors cooled to extreme temperatures, designed to measure differences of 1 part in 100,000. These tiny differences reveal the composition of the universe. How much is matter? How much is dark matter? How much is dark energy? Through this background, we've learned that ordinary matter, everything we can see and touch, makes up less than 5% of the cosmos. The rest is hidden, divided between dark matter and dark energy. The whisper of background light in its faint ripples carries the keys to these cosmic proportions. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the balance of the universe is written. A whisper beyond hearing, though we call it a whisper. It is not sound. Sound needs air or water or some medium to carry vibrations. Space is too empty for that. Its whisper is a metaphor, a way of understanding the faint, omnipresent signal. It is a hum, not of sound, but of light, stretched into microwaves. And yet, the word whisper feels right, 'cause like a whisper, it is quiet, subtle, easy to miss. It does not shout, does not announce. It waits patiently for those who choose to listen. The hum continues, softly repeating, inaudible, yet undeniable. The poetry of the beginning there, something profoundly gentle in knowing that the universe's birth cry has softened into a quiet glow. What was once fire and fury is now calm and patient, stretched thin by time. The violence of creation has become the serenity of background light. It is as though the universe itself learned to breathe more slowly, exhaling across billions of years until its voice became a murmur. We live in that murmur still. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, its first fire rests as light. The future of the whisper of the cosmic microwave background will not vanish soon. For trillions of years to come, it will linger, growing colder and fainter as the universe expands. Eventually, it may stretch beyond detectability, to diffuse, to measure. But for now, and for many ages yet, it remains with us. It is the most ancient light we can see, the farthest message we can hear. It reminds us that we are connected to the very beginning, that everything around us was once part of the same fire. The hum continues, softly repeating. A message carried across eternity, toward what comes next. The background light tells us of beginnings, but it also points us toward mysteries still unsolved. The ripples in its glow hint at forces we do not fully understand. Dark matter holding, dark energy pushing, gravity shaping. It shows us what was, but also what might be. And so, as we rest beneath the stars, listening to this ancient whisper, we are gently carried toward the next question. The quiet strength of gravity itself. The force that bends space and binds the cosmos. The night is quiet, softly repeating, and the whisper fades into the pull of gravity. Asterisk gravity is the quiet architect of the universe. It has no color, no texture, no sound. You cannot see it, you cannot hold it, and yet it holds you. It is the reason oceans stay with Earth, the reason planets orbit suns, the reason galaxies do not dissolve into scattered dust. It is not a force that shouts. It is patient, persistent, always present. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, gravity hums, unseen. The nature of a gentle pull at its simplest. Gravity is attraction. Every bit of matter, every particle, every grain of sand exerts a pull on every other. The more mass something has, the stronger its pull. The closer it is, the more tightly it draws. A mountain pulls on a pebble. A pebble pulls on a mountain. A key. The pull is so faint that we do not feel it directly, yet it is always there. What we notice most is the pull of Earth itself, steady, grounding, keeping our feet on soil and our seas in place. This same law stretches to the cosmos. Stars pull on planets. Planets pull on moons. Galaxies pull on one another, weaving themselves into clusters and threads across the universe. The hum continues, softly repeating across every scale of being. Space as fabric in modern understanding. Gravity is not just a force, but a bending of space itself. Imagine the universe as a vast sheet of fabric. Place something heavy upon a planet. A star in the fabric dips. Anything nearby rolls inward, not because the object calls it, but because space itself curves. This vision, given to us by Einstein's theory of relativity, turns gravity into shape. Planets do not so much pull moons as create pathways for them to follow. Stars do not tug on light. They bend the road that light must travel. Black holes are not simply heavy. They are places where the fabric of space folds so deeply that escape becomes impossible. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, space itself curves, holding oceans and air on Earth. Gravity feels ordinary, almost invisible in its constancy. Holds oceans against the spinning globe, keeping waves from drifting away. It holds air in a soft shell around us. It's an atmosphere that would otherwise scatter into the void. Without gravity, the seas would lift like mist into space. Without it, air would dissolve into the dark. Life clings to Earth because gravity clings to life, shaping the conditions that make breathing, growing, and resting possible. We live in its embrace without noticing. Every breath, every step is an agreement with gravity's pull. The hum continues, softly repeating as oceans rise and fall within its hold. The dance of orbits planets circle their stars because of gravity. They fall toward them endlessly, but their sideways motion keeps them from colliding. It is a balance pull, inward, motion outward, creating a perpetual dance. The Earth falls toward the sun, yet never reaches it. The moon falls toward Earth, yet never strikes it. Each orbit is a conversation, a compromise between gravity's pull and motion's momentum. This balance is ancient. It has kept the solar system turning for billions of years. It will keep turning long after our nights and days are forgotten. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the planets circle endlessly. Galaxies bound in silencing grander scales. Gravity becomes even more astonishing. Stars are not scattered randomly, but gathered into spirals and clusters, held by their shared attraction. Galaxies spin like pinwheels, arms stretching in delicate arcs. Each one contains billions of suns, all circling the invisible mass at its center. Galaxies do not drift apart internally because gravity binds them. It holds clusters of galaxies as well, weaving them into filaments that stretch across cosmic distances. Gravity is not loud, not rushed, it builds structures slowly, across billions of years. The hum continues, softly repeating across the vast web of light. Gravity and light, perhaps most mysterious, is gravity's effect on light itself. Though light has no mass, it bends when space curves. A star passing near a galaxy cluster may appear displaced, its path altered by invisible hands. Astronomers call this gravitational lensing, a natural magnifying glass made not of glass, but of warped space-time. Through these lenses, we see galaxies far more distant than we could otherwise detect. Gravity, without voice, becomes a tool of vision, letting us glimpse the faintest, most ancient light. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, light itself is curved, the strength of the weakest force among the four fundamental forces of nature. Gravity is the weakest. The magnet in a child's hand can lift a nail against the entire pool of Earth. And yet, across the cosmos, gravity dominates. Why? Because, unlike other forces, gravity never cancels. It only adds. Positive and negative charges may balance. Nuclear forces may bind only at close range, but gravity is always cumulative. Every star, every planet, every atom contributes. Together, they weave the great structures of the universe. The hum continues, softly repeating, not strong alone, but unstoppable together. Stars and collapse. Gravity does not only hold, it also sculpts. The stars born when clouds of gas, nudged by their mutual pull, collapse inward. Gravity squeezes them tighter until heat and pressure ignite nuclear fire. For millions or billions of years, fusion pushes outward while gravity pulls inward, and the balance creates steady light. When fusion falters, gravity reclaims its dominance. Stars shrink, collapse, sometimes explode. White dwarfs, neutron stars, and black holes are all the work of gravity, reshaping what was once fire into new forms of silence. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, stars are born and die by gravity's hand. Black holes, as extreme gravity, its most intense. Gravity creates black holes. Here, space is curved so steeply that nothing, not even light, can escape. To the outside, they appear as shadows, dark spheres surrounded by glowing gas. Inside, the known laws of physics surrender to the singular pull. Black holes are not monsters, but reminders of gravity's power. They anchor galaxies, drive jets of energy, and recycle matter back into the cosmos. Their silence is profound, yet their influence is vast. The hum continues, softly repeating, even in the darkest wells of space. Gravity and time. Gravity does not only bend space, bends time. Near massive bodies, seconds pass more slowly. Clocks tick at different rates depending on their altitude. Astronauts on the International Space Station age ever so slightly faster than those on Earth's surface, because they are farther from the planet's center. The effect is tiny on Earth, but immense near black holes. Time itself stretches, slowing to a crawl as gravity deepens. Past, present, and future blur in the curved river of space-time. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, time flows differently under gravity's hand. The human experience. Though cosmic in scope, gravity is intimate. It is the weight of a blanket against your skin. It is the arc of a falling leaf, the curve of a drop of rain. It is the way your body settles into a chair, the way your lungs expand and release. Every human life is lived in dialogue with gravity. We may not speak of it often, but it is always there, an unspoken companion, steady, grounding, constant. The hum continues, softly repeating, present in every step we take. Mystery still unsolved, despite all we know. Gravity remains mysterious. We can describe its effects, measure its strength, predict its consequences, but its ultimate nature, whether it is a particle a field, a bend in fabric, or something deeper remains uncertain. Some physicists seek a quantum theory of gravity, one that unites it with the other forces. For now, it stands apart, a quiet law that governs without fully revealing itself. Its mystery adds to its presence, a reminder that the universe always keeps something back. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, gravity remains both known and unknown, a bridge toward the next. Wonder gravity holds stars, galaxies, oceans, and even time itself. It is the steady hum of the cosmos, the framework in which everything takes place. Without it, there would be no structure, no orbits, no night sky. And yet, as steady as it is, gravity is not the only story. For while it bends space and time, there are stars that burn longer than any galaxy, suns that glow faintly but endure for trillions of years. The night is quiet, softly repeating, and gravity carries us gently toward the stars that will outlast us. Asterisk in the story of the universe. Stars are the main characters. They are its lamps, its forges, its steady companions. They rise from dust, they shine, they fade. Some blaze quickly and vanish in titanic explosions. Others glow faintly and endure. Among them, red dwarfs are the patient ones. They do not dazzle. They do not rush, but they remain. They will be the last stars to shine when all others have dimmed. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, red dwarfs keep their slow vigil. The nature of small suns, red dwarfs are the smallest kind of stars still, burning hydrogen in their cores. Many are just a fraction of the sun's mass, barely large enough to sustain fusion. They glow faintly, with light too dim to be seen from Earth without telescopes. Yet, what they lack in brilliance, they make up for in endurance, because their cores burn slowly. Red dwarfs conserve their fuel. They sip, rather than consume, the hydrogen that sustains them. The result is lifetimes measured not in billions of years, but trillions. The hum continues, softly repeating, as these stars shine. At their steady pace, a universe filled with them, though faint, red dwarfs are not rare. They're the most common stars in the galaxy, out of the hundreds of billions of suns within the Milky Way. The vast majority are small, quiet, red dwarfs. Our skies are bright with the light of larger, shorter-lived stars, but most stars are hidden in faintness. What dominates the galaxy is not brilliance, but subtle endurance. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, galaxies are held together by countless unseen lanterns. The lifespan of patience to understand how long red dwarfs live is to stretch the imagination. Our sun will burn for about 10 billion years. Already, it has lived nearly half that span. Red dwarfs, by contrast, will last hundreds of times longer. Some may glow for 10 trillion years' time, enough for entire galaxies to change shape, for continents to drift into new patterns again and again, for civilizations beyond imagining to rise and fall. They are persistence made visible. They will outlast not only humanity, not only Earth, but nearly every other star in the night sky. The hum continues, softly repeating as ages pass like gentle tides. Light faint as a whisper, red dwarfs do not blaze like the great blue giants, or even like the sun. Their light is faint, their warmth limited. Planets must huddle close to them to feel heat. Their glow is more ember than flame, but embers last. A fire that rages high burns quickly, but a fire that glows low endures. Red dwarfs are cosmic embers glowing softly in the vast heart of the universe. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, faint light endures longer than brilliance. The last stars of the cosmos when the universe grows old. When great suns have long since burned out, red dwarfs will still be there. Their quiet glow will carry light into the deep future. They will be the final lanterns of the cosmos, guiding the last ages of starlight before the universe falls into darkness. While galaxies thin, while expansion carries stars farther apart, the red dwarfs will remain as the last points of brightness in infinite night. The hum continues, softly repeating across the final chapters of time. Why they endure the endurance of red dwarfs lies in their structure. In larger stars, heat and fusion create turbulence. Hydrogen burns unevenly, sometimes trapped in layers. Quick-lap. When fuel in the core runs out, collapse and change follow quickly. In red dwarfs, mixing is constant. Quick. Hydrogen flows evenly into their centers, ensuring nearly all of it is burned. They waste nothing. Sufficiency makes them the most economical of stars. They live not by rushing, but by pacing themselves. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, patience becomes power. Planets beneath. Faint suns astronomers believe that many red dwarfs host planets. Some worlds circle so close that their years last only days or weeks. Others orbit farther in dim but steady light. For years, scientists have debated whether these planets could host life. The light is faint. The stars often flare with bursts of energy, but endurance provides opportunity. If life adapts, it may have trillions of years to evolve and thrive. Perhaps the universe's longest stories will unfold, not under suns like ours, but beneath the dim glow of red dwarfs. The hum continues, softly repeating in the quiet possibility of distant worlds. A future without us when Earth's sun dies. Red dwarfs will still be in their infancy. Humanity will be gone or changed beyond recognition. Civilizations, if they exist, may live under alien skies, orbiting stars that glow faintly but endlessly. To imagine the far future is to realize how small our moment is. Red dwarfs remind us of patience, of spans of time beyond comprehension. They are the quiet elders of the cosmos, present long after we fade. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, endurance becomes eternity. Galaxies in the long future, trillions of years from now, galaxies themselves will look different. Stars will have burned out, leaving behind white dwarfs, neutron stars, and black holes, yet scattered through this future. Night, red dwarfs will remain. They will be the thread of light weaving through an increasingly dark cosmos. They will be the anchors of whatever remains, silent witnesses to the slow unraveling of the universe. The hum continues, softly repeating across ages beyond measure. The slow, fading, even red dwarfs cannot last forever. After trillions of years, their fuel will finally run out. They will fade into white dwarfs, cooling slowly into darkness. Their passing will be gentle, without explosion, without spectacles, just a slow fading into silence. Yet, compared to other stars, their contribution is immense. They extend the era of starlight by orders of magnitude, ensuring that the universe glows long after brilliance has faded. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, even endings arrive slowly. The poetry of persistence there is something profoundly moving about these stars. They are not dramatic, not flamboyant, not commanding, yet they endure. They are persistence made visible, a quiet glow in the darkness of space. In them, the universe shows us the power of patience. What lasts is not always what dazzles, but what continues, softly, steadily, without rush. The hum continues, softly, repeating as persistence becomes beauty. Human eyes and faint stars from Earth. We do not see red dwarfs with our naked eyes. Our skies are filled with brighter stars, though they are fewer. The faint ones are hidden, though they surround us in number. This too is a lesson. What dominates is not always what is seen. The quiet, the hidden, the enduring may matter more than the visible. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, unseen stars carry the weight of time. A bridge toward the unknown red dwarfs will outlast us. They will outlast our sun, our galaxies, as we know them, perhaps even the structures we recognize as the universe. They are the stars of the deep future, the patient glow of eternity, and yet they are not alone, for even beyond them, galaxies stretch farther than we can see, countless and unreachable, filling the cosmos with abundance. The night is quiet, softly repeating, and red dwarfs carry us gently toward the galaxies beyond our sight. Asterisk, there is a horizon in the night sky. To the human eye, it appears filled with scattered stars, faint dust of the Milky Way, and, in the right darkness, the glow of Andromeda. But beyond what our eyes reveal, beyond what even the greatest telescopes can yet capture, lies an abundance, so vast that it defies imagination. There are more galaxies in the universe than stars in the galaxy. Each one is a city of light, billions of suns, perhaps billions of planets, stretching outward in quiet patterns. Many are close enough that their light has reached us. Many more drift farther than light can travel in the time the universe has existed. They are real, but forever unseen. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, unseen galaxies drift beyond our sight. More galaxies than stars when astronomers peer into the deep sky with powerful instruments. What appears empty reveals itself to be crowded. A patch of sky no larger than a grain of sand held at arm's length can contain thousands of galaxies. Each one is immense, filled with stars, planets, nebulae, and perhaps life. It is difficult to absorb this scale. We are used to thinking of stars as countless. The Milky Way is infinite. Yet the truth is larger. If stars are grains of sand, galaxies are beaches. And the universe is an endless coastline. The hum continues, softly repeating as galaxies fill the silence beyond. Distances beyond comprehension. To see a galaxy is to look back in time. Light from Andromeda takes more than 2 million years to reach us. Light from galaxies captured by the Hubble telescope may take billions. We do not see them as they are now, but as they once were. Beyond a certain distance, their light will never reach us. The universe expands faster than their photons can cross the growing gulf. They move into silence, carried forever away from observation. They exist, but we will never see them. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, galaxies drift beyond the reach of light. Hidden abundance, the number of galaxies is staggering. Estimates suggest hundreds of billions in the observable universe, perhaps more than 2 trillion. And yet, this is only what we can infer within our cosmic horizon. Beyond it, the abundance continues, unseen and unreachable. It is a humbling thought that what we see is only a fraction, a small window into a greater whole. The universe is not empty, but overflowing, endlessly repeating in scale and structure. The hum continues, softly repeating in galaxies beyond count. Shapes in the dark galaxies come in many shapes. Spirals, elegant arms unfurling like pinwheels. Ellipticals, glowing clouds of stars without structure. Regulars, chaotic and restless, shaped by collisions. Each type is abundant, scattered across space, but beyond our telescopes, shapes multiply unseen. Turns drift quietly in darkness, forming, colliding, evolving over billions of years. Entire dramas of light and gravity play out, unobserved by us, but real. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, galaxies spin unseen. The drift of expansion, the expansion of the universe carries galaxies away. Not with speed alone, but with space, itself stretching. Distant galaxies are not racing through a medium. They are carried as the medium itself grows. This means that with each passing moment, more galaxies slip beyond what we can detect. They are present now, brilliant with stars, but already they are becoming invisible. The universe hides them not with distance alone, but with time. The hum continues, softly repeating. Its expansion carries galaxies into silence. The mystery of the unseen, what lies beyond the limit of sight, is more than numbers. It is mystery. Galaxies uncounted, mean worlds uncounted, planets turning in orbit around stars we will never know. Some barren, some rich with oceans, some perhaps alive. The unseen is not absence, but possibility. It stretches outward, holding secrets that belong to the cosmos alone. The galaxies beyond us remind us that mystery is not something to be solved, but something to be embraced. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, its possibility itself becomes endless. The faintest whispers of light, though many galaxies drift beyond reach, some leave faint traces. Telescopes capture the dimmest glimmers, light stretched into infrared by the expansion of space. These are whispers of ancient galaxies, seen as they were billions of years ago. In the first stages of the universe, their light is fragile, stretched thin, yet it arrives. It carries with it the memory of the beginnings, of the first stars, of the earliest structures in the cosmos. The hum continues, softly repeating. It's carried on the faintest glow of light. Galaxies as endless books. Each galaxy is a book written in starlight. Some are short stories, small collections of stars. Others are epics, massive spirals with hundreds of billions of suns. Altogether, they form the library of the universe. And yet, beyond our reach, most of these books remain unopened. Their pages turn, their stars live and die, their stories unfold. Whether or not we witness them, the night is quiet, and in that quiet, countless stories remain unread. The comfort of smallness there is comfort in realizing how vast the universe is. The galaxies beyond our sight remind us that the cosmos does not end with us. Our worries, our civilizations, our triumphs and failures are small in comparison, and smallness is not insignificance. It is belonging. So we are part of something larger, woven into a fabric that stretches endlessly outward. The hum continues, softly repeating, as the universe holds us within its immensity. Future darkness trillions of years from now, the expansion of the universe will carry even nearby galaxies out of sight. The night sky will empty, leaving only the faint glow of local stars. The unseen abundance will remain, but hidden forever. Future observers may live in a universe that feels solitary, unaware of the galaxies that once filled the night. What we glimpse now is a fleeting gift, a brief window into abundance before silence deepens. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, even abundance can vanish from view. A universe without centers is natural to wonder if galaxies drift away. Where is the center of it all? But the truth is stranger. Expansion happens everywhere, not from a single point. There is no center, no edge, only space itself stretching. This means that from any place, the view is the same. Galaxies filling the horizon, fading with distance, countless beyond count. What we see is repeated everywhere, softly echoing across the universe. The hum continues, softly repeating, as the cosmos expands without edge. Galaxies, as mirrors the galaxies beyond sight, are not foreign. They are mirrors. They are like our own, filled with stars, planets, perhaps life. To imagine them is to imagine reflections of ourselves scattered endlessly across space. They remind us that we are not alone, not in substance, not in structure. The universe repeats patterns, stars, planets, clusters, spirals. What is here is also there, beyond reach. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the cosmos mirrors itself in silence. The drift of wonder, the galaxies beyond our sight, may remain unseen forever. Yet their presence expands our imagination. They stretch our sense of scale, of mystery, of possibility. To know they exist, even if we never see them, is to feel the immensity of the cosmos, and in that immensity, wonder becomes a constant companion. The unseen is not loss, but gift. The hum continues, softly repeating. Its wonder drifts outward with galaxies, toward the stillness between stars. Galaxies beyond our sight remind us of scale, of abundance, of mystery. Yet, between their countless suns lies vast emptiness. To move from galaxies to the void between stars is to shift from abundance to stillness, from overflowing light to quiet silence. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, we move gently toward the stillness between stars. Asterisk, there is silence in the night sky, but it is not the silence of still air or a quiet forest. Hey, it is the silence of distance. Between the glowing lanterns of stars, the universe stretches in vast gulfs of near nothing. The stillness between stars is immense, deeper than we can grasp, yet gentle in its patience. From Earth, stars may seem close, scattered like grains of salt across a dark table. But each point of light is separated from the next by unimaginable stretches of space. Between our own sun and its nearest neighbor, Proxima Centauri, lies more than 4 light years of emptiness. 4 years of light racing at the fastest speed the cosmos allows. You've only then crossing the gulf. For a spacecraft built by human hands, the journey would take tens of thousands of years. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the stillness between stars deepens. Emptiness as the true landscape. We often imagine the universe as crowded stars glowing, galaxies swirling, planets turning, nebulae blooming in color. Yet these are islands in an ocean. The ocean itself is vast and almost empty. More than 99% of the volume of space holds no star, no planet, no glowing dust. Just a thin mist of atoms spread so far apart that a single cubic meter may contain fewer than one. And yet, this near emptiness is not nothing. It has weight, it has laws. It carries the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, the quiet microwave radiation left from the beginning of time. It carries particles that drift endlessly, cosmic rays whispering across the void. It carries the bending of gravity, stretching space-time itself. The hum continues, softly repeating, even in emptiness. Silence that shapes this silence is not absence, but structure. Without the stillness between stars, galaxies would collapse into chaos. The gulfs allow stars to burn in peace, to live their patient lives without immediate interference from neighbors. They are the spaces that let patterns emerge, the pauses between notes in the music of the cosmos. The stillness is not inert. It holds the stage on which galaxies unfold their spirals. It cushions stars so they may live for billions of years. It separates systems so planets may orbit calmly, oceans may rise and fall. Life may have time to form. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, silence becomes the architecture of existence. Thin whispers of matter, though it seems empty, interstellar. Space is not void. It is filled with gas, dust, and particles drifting in faint traces. Hydrogen atoms, the simplest building blocks, float across the distance. Microscopic grains of dust, expelled by old stars, wander through the dark. Every so often, these thin whispers gather. Clouds form, stretching across light years, cradles where new stars will someday ignite. Even in emptiness, the seeds of creation are present. Stillness is not sterile, is waiting. The hum continues, softly repeating. As even emptiness carries potential, the temperature of nothing in the stillness between stars. The temperature falls near absolute zero. Heat radiates away without resistance. Molecules drift too slowly to collide. The cold is immense, deeper than any winter, colder than any ice. Yet this cold is not complete. The universe itself has a faint warmth, a leftover glow from the Big Bang, just a few degrees above absolute zero. This background radiation bathes the cosmos evenly. In the deepest silence, there is still a trace of ancient fire, still an echo of the first moment. The night is quiet. And in that quiet, the cold carries memory. Time in the void time flows differently in emptiness, with no air to rust metal, no water to erode stone, no atmosphere to scatter light. Objects can drift unchanged for billions of years. A grain of dust between stars may wander longer than civilizations, longer than planets themselves. In the stillness, time slows into patience. Nothing hurries here, nothing presses. The void is not rushing, it simply waits. The hum continues, softly repeating. Time stretches outward without end. Human eyes on the emptiness when telescopes look deep into the spaces between stars. They find more silence than light. The great black canvases that frame galaxies are not truly black, but filled with faint signals, weak radio waves, the cosmic microwave background, the after-echo of creation itself. We call it void, but even the void speaks. Its language is subtle, a low hum, a faint glow, a nearly invisible trace. We are reminded that silence itself is not nothing, yet is a presence, delicate but profound. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the void still whispers. The stillness as balanced life thrives because of this balance. If stars crowded too closely, their gravity would tear planets from orbits, oceans from shores. If the void were truly empty, no gas would gather, no stars would be born. The balance lies between enough stillness to allow peace, enough whispers of matter to allow creation. This balance is the rhythm of the cosmos. A galaxy is not only its stars, but also its spaces. A song is not only its notes, but its rests. The hum continues, softly repeating. Its balance defines the universe. The spiritual weight of emptiness, to stand beneath the night sky and sense the stillness between stars, is to feel something both humbling and expansive. It is a reminder of scale, of perspective. We live in a small world, lit by a small star, held in a galaxy among billions. Between all of these lights, silence stretches, and in that silence, there is space for reflection. The void gives us room, not only for galaxies to exist, but for thought itself to wander. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the human mind expands into the stars. Motion in stillness, though called empty, the void is not frozen. Particles move, though rarely colliding. Photons race unhindered, carrying light across unimaginable distances. Invisible magnetic fields thread through the dark. Stillness does not mean motionless. It means slow, patient, unhurried. The silence of space is alive with subtle vibrations, with currents that flow unseen. The hum continues, softly repeating. As motion hides in silence, the poetry of distance, the nearest star feels far, the nearest galaxy feels unreachable. Yet these distances shape the grandeur of the cosmos. Without the space between, there would be no perspective, no beauty in the scattered points of night. Distance is not a barrier, but a canvas. It allows each light to shine on its own, distinct and delicate. The vast darkness between stars is what makes their glow meaningful. The night is quiet, and in that quiet distance itself becomes beauty. The role of gravity in silence, gravity stretches across emptiness, invisible but commanding. It binds stars into galaxies, galaxies into clusters, clusters into filaments. Though space seems still, gravity threads through it, pulling, guiding, shaping. The stillness between stars is not idle, it is woven with tension. Invisible strings connect the galaxies, even across voids. The silence holds the architecture of everything. The hum continues, softly repeating, carried on gravity's unseen hand. Stillness as creations pause. Music pauses, give weight to sound. In speech, silence shapes meaning. In the cosmos, the stillness between stars is the pause that allows creation to be heard. It is the resting place where new stars gather, where galaxies drift in order, where light finds contrast against darkness. Without stillness, there is no form. Without pause, there is no song. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, creation itself finds rhythm. The smallness of noise when we imagine ourselves crossing the stars. We think of rockets, engines, speed, yet beyond the Earth's edge, the noise of human effort fades quickly. A spacecraft passes into silence. Radios speak faintly back to Earth, but the void swallows the rest. Between stars, noise has no home. Sound requires air, or liquid, or solid. In space, there is none. Electromagnetic whispers light, radio, X-rays carry messages across the dark. The hum continues, softly repeating. As silence becomes the truest medium toward the next horizon, the stillness between stars is not the final silence. Beyond interstellar space lies intergalactic space distances, far greater, voids, far deeper. If the gulf between the sun and its neighbors feels large, the gulf between galaxies is immeasurable. What lies beyond stars leads naturally to what lies beyond galaxies. The silence we hear now deepens further ahead. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, we drift toward greater stillness. The silence beyond galaxies themselves. Asterisk stars are born in silence, and they live in silence. But their endings, too, unfold in silence, though the silence is vast, threaded with light, with dust, with echoes of creation. The death of a star is not an ending like ours, sudden and final. It is a transformation, slow and patient, carried out on scales of time that stretch beyond our sense of life and memory. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, stars prepare for endings that are also beginnings, a fire that cannot last forever. Star is a balance. In its core, gravity pulls inward, pressing atoms together with immense force. This inward pressure is matched by outward fire, as nuclear fusion converts hydrogen into helium, releasing energy that streams outward as light. For millions, even billions of years, this balance holds steady. But no fuel lasts forever. When hydrogen grows scarce, the balance wavers. Fusion falters. Gravity, patient and relentless, begins to push inward. The fire struggles to push back. It is the beginning of the slow fading of the star. The hum continues, softly repeating, as even suns must one day dim. The fate of small stars for the smallest stars. Death is a long and quiet process. Red dwarfs, cool and faint, sip their fuel so slowly that none have yet reached their end in the age of the universe. They will live for trillions of years, far longer than the cosmos has yet existed. But one day, even they will fade. Their fires will cool. Their light will dim to embers, and they will become black dwarf's gold remnants, radiating no heat, only mass. In their silence, they will drift, invisible in the dark. The night is quiet. And in that quiet, these faint stars leave only memory behind. The path of sun-like stars. Stars, like our own sun, live balanced lives for billions of years. But when hydrogen in their cores runs out, they expand. Outer layers swell into great red giants, their light reddening, their size immense. A star that once fit comfortably in a corner of the sky may grow large enough to engulf inner planets. Then, with gentle inevitability, the outer layers drift away, forming glowing shells of gas called planetary nebulae. The star's heart remains behind, a white dwarfer, small, dense ember, no larger than Earth. yet carrying the mass of a sun. It no longer fuses atoms, simply glows with leftover heat, fading slowly across billions of years. In the silence of space, it becomes a patient ghost of what once was. The hum continues, softly repeating as suns become embers in the dark. The quiet collapse of neutron stars. Larger stars live more dramatic lives. They burn hotter, faster, consuming fuel with less patience. When their fusion ends, gravity overwhelms them. The star collapses inward, crushing atoms so tightly that protons and electrons merge into neutrons. The result is a neutron star so dense that a teaspoon of its matter weighs as much as mountains. Neutron stars are quiet titans. They may spin rapidly, sending out beams of radiation as pulsars. They may merge with one another, sending ripples of gravitational waves across the universe. Yet, despite their hidden violence, they are small, faint remnants, dark seeds, scattered in silence. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, these collapsed stars spin unseen. The fury of supernovae, the largest stars, end with brilliance. When fusion cannot continue, their cores collapse. Gravity squeezes them tighter and tighter, till outward energy bursts forth in an explosion supernova. It's a flare so bright it can outshine an entire galaxy for days. From Earth, such an event will look like a new star appearing suddenly in the sky, blazing before fading again. Ancient astronomers recorded such lights, not knowing they were the deaths of distant suns. In silence, the supernova scatters heavy elements into space: iron, gold, carbon. The matter of planets, the matter of bodies, is made from these gifts of dying stars. The hum continues, softly repeating. Endings scatter seeds for beginnings. The birth within death. Those stars die, they do not end. Their dust gathers into clouds. Their clouds form new stars, new planets, new cycles. Even in death, they give life. The iron in blood, the calcium in bone, the carbon in every cell. These came from ancient stars that ended long before Earth was born. Tuwa, as the poet once said, the children of stardust. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the deaths of stars echo within us. Black holes, death is depth for the most massive stars. Even a supernova cannot halt collapse. Their cores fall further inward, into regions where gravity becomes so strong that nothing escapes, not even light. A black hole forms, silent and hidden, yet powerful. It is a death that becomes a horizon, a place where matter vanishes from view. But it is also a kind of continuation. Black holes shape galaxies, anchor stars, and influence the dance of the cosmos. The hum continues, softly repeating, as even in silence, stars leave deep imprints. The scale of stellar human life is measured in decades, civilization in centuries. But the life and death of stars stretch across millions, billions, trillions of years. Their death seems slow to us, patient and unhurried. This scale gives perspective. What feels final to us is only transition to them. A fading star is not loss, but transformation. A supernova is not an end, but renewal. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, keyed time itself feels different, drawn longer, softened into patience. The silent sky of the future. Imagine the far future. Trillions of years from now, when most stars have burned out, the sky will be dimmer, galaxies quieter. White dwarfs will cool to blackness. Red dwarfs will fade. Neutron stars will spin more slowly. Yet, even then, silence will not be complete. The faint light of long-lived stars will remain. Black holes will still shape the cosmos. And in the deepest dark, perhaps new forms of light will emerge. The hum continues, softly repeating, even in the farthest future we can imagine. Death as renewal in forests, fallen trees become soil for new growth. In oceans, the bodies of creatures sink, feeding the depths. In the cosmos, dying stars seed galaxies with the ingredients for life. Death is not emptiness, it's the pause that allows creation to continue. Stars die, so others may live. Their silence is the ground on which new suns rise. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, renewal is endless. Our place in the cycle, looking up at the stars. We are looking not only at light, but at memory. Memory of birth, memory of life, and memory of death. Every star we see will one day fade, okay? But its fading will create the possibility of new worlds, new lives, new skies. We belong to this cycle. We carry stardust in our bodies. We are the children of ancient endings, and the ancestors of futures yet unknown. The hum continues, softly repeating as we rest within the silence of stellar death. Gentle reflection toward what comes next. Death of stars is not an end, but a continuation. Their fading light becomes dust. Their dust becomes planets. Their planets become homes for life. And in the spaces between, silence grows deep. The stillness between stars, the void that holds galaxies apart, connects naturally to these endings. For what lies beyond death is always silence, always the vast gulf that holds us all. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, we drift onward toward the great web of the cosmos, where galaxies align like threads of light. Asterisk, the universe, from a distance too great to imagine, does not appear as empty space. It reveals itself instead as a pattern, a structure, vast and delicate, stretched like threads of light across the black. This is the cosmic web, a hidden architecture that connects galaxies, clusters, and filaments into one great design. Galaxies align in filaments, cosmic threads crossing through the void. They stretch like lace across silence, luminous strands, suspended in a space too deep for measure. At their intersections, clusters gather like knots in fabric, nodes where countless galaxies meet. It is a pattern woven with gravity, with time, with the remnants of stars. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, the universe arranges itself with invisible symmetry. The first threads, not long after the Big Bang. The universe was smooth and simple. It was filled with light in a near uniform sea of hydrogen and helium. Yet small fluctuations, tiny ripples in density, were already present. Gravity began to work on those ripples, pulling matter together in some regions, leaving others more empty. From these small beginnings, larger patterns emerged. The denser regions grew denser still, attracting more matter, while the empty regions became vast voids. Over billions of years, this separation carved the fabric of the cosmos into filaments and gaps, into threads and hollows. The universe became not a uniform sea, but a web. The hum continues, softly repeating, as gravity patiently draws the fabric into form. Galaxies on threads of darkness. The threads of the cosmic web are not made only of visible light. Much of their mass comes from dark matter, an unseen presence that shapes the universe. Galaxies form along these filaments, gathering where the pull of invisible scaffolding is strongest. Like dew on spider silk, galaxies cling to these threads, each glowing with billions of stars. From afar, the web resembles lace across a window, light gathered at crossings, strands faint in between. It cannot see the dark matter directly, but its gravity is written in the placement of galaxies, in the way light bends as it travels across space. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, galaxies reveal the hidden structure of what cannot be seen. Clusters at the intersections where filaments meet. Clusters of galaxies form. These clusters are vast, each containing thousands of galaxies, bound together by gravity. They glow more brightly, like lanterns at the crossings of invisible streets. Between them stretch void's immense expanses, almost empty, where few galaxies wander. The contrast is striking. rich knots of lights separated by gulfs of near nothing. And yet even the emptiness has purpose, for without it, its threads would not shine as strongly. Clusters are the nodes of the web, the anchor points of cosmic fabric. Around them, galaxies orbit, drawn by gravity into collective motion. The hum continues, softly repeating, as clusters breathe together in the silence of space. The scale of the pattern, K, size of these structures defies ordinary thought. A single filament may span hundreds of millions of light years, longer than entire chains of galaxies placed end to end. The web itself stretches across the observable universe, billions of light years wide, and yet, despite this immensity, the pattern is delicate. It resembles froth on water, or veins beneath skin, or the branching of roots and trees. The universe mirrors itself across scales, echoing in forests and rivers what it writes in galaxies and stars. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, vastness feels intimate patterns in space resembling patterns in life. The role of light, though the web is built from gravity and dark matter, it is revealed to us through light. Telescopes gather faint beams traveling across billions of years. By mapping where galaxies shine, astronomers trace the filaments that connect them in this way. The cosmic web becomes visible not directly, but through the glow of suns scattered along its strands. Light paints the invisible skeleton of the universe, cute outlining structures that would otherwise remain unknown. Every star, K, every galaxy, is a lantern marking the threads of this unseen architecture. The hum continues, softly repeating, as light makes visible the silence of dark matter's web, the delicate lace of hydrogen and galaxies themselves. The web is traced by hydrogen gas, stretched thin across space. Ultraviolet light from quasars and young galaxies illuminates these streams, like moonlight catching threads of mist. Spectroscopies, splitting light into colors, reveals the shadows of hydrogen clouds, imprints left on the paths of photons traveling. To us, by studying these shadows, scientists reconstruct the filaments of gas that lie between galaxies, long and tenuous strands of primordial matter. The universe becomes not just clusters of stars, but a network of glowing gas, glowing dust, glowing particles too faint for eyes, but strong enough to shape galaxies. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, threads of hydrogen weave themselves into cosmic lace. Asterisk, the echo of the small in the large. What is remarkable is how this structure mirrors patterns we know on Earth. Rivers branch into tributaries, veins split into capillaries, roots spread into soil. The cosmic web repeats these forms at a scale far greater. But the resemblance is real. It is as though the universe follows the same language of growth and branching. Whether in forests or galaxies, whether in rivers or stars, order arises in repetition, not by design, but by the quiet rules of nature. The hum continues, softly repeating, as patterns echo across scales from the very small to the very large. Galaxies, as beads of light in the filaments of the web, galaxies are not evenly spread. They form like beads strung along invisible lines, clustered in groups but following the thread's direction. This arrangement is not random. Gravity draws matter into these shapes. Dark matter guides their growth, and the expansion of the universe stretches them outward. What appears as chaos becomes structure. Tears as emptiness becomes design. The beads of galaxies sparkle like jewels on cosmic threads. Each bead holding billions of suns, billions of planets, billions of stories. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, galaxies shine like pearls on strands of gravity. The hidden energy of the web is not static. Energy flows along its filaments. Gas streams inward, feeding galaxies. Matter continues to fall toward clusters, gathering mass, sparking new stars. Even now, the universe is building itself, slowly, quietly. Filaments act as highways, channels through which matter moves. Galaxies are not isolated, but connected by the hidden flow of the cosmic network. The hum continues, softly repeating as energy circulates through threads, two vast eyes. The void between threads, between the glowing filaments, lie voids, vast regions with almost no galaxies at all. These are cosmic deserts, where expansion has swept matter away, leaving thin traces of gas. And yet the voids are not truly empty. They hum faintly with radiation, with particles, with a relic light of the Big Bang. They are as essential as the filaments, for without emptiness, the pattern of fullness would not emerge. Silence is not absence, it is part of the design. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, even voids carry meaning. A web that holds us, the Milky Way itself, rests on one of these filaments. Part of the structure that connects galaxies across billions of light years. We are not alone, not just because of other galaxies, but because of the web itself, an dense structure that holds all together. We are beads on a thread, lanterns along a strand of cosmic lace. Our galaxy is one point in the architecture, a single glowing knot in an endless design. The hum continues, softly repeating as we recognize our place in this hidden web. The fragility of the vision is worth remembering that this view is new. For most of human history, the sky seemed scattered with stars, without order, beyond constellations. Only with telescopes and surveys did the larger pattern reveal itself. Now, we see the universe not as isolated galaxies, but as part of a single web. It is delicate, intricate, and still incomplete in our maps. We glimpse outlines, we trace filaments, but the full detail remains hidden in the silence of space. The night is quiet, and in that quiet, we continue to seek the structure of all things. A web of light, a web of time. The cosmic web is not only space, it is also time. Light from galaxies takes billions of years to reach us. When we map the web, we are mapping not the present, but the past. Strands of light stretched across time as well as distance. The web becomes a tapestry woven with history. Each galaxy is a thread from long ago, still shining now. The structure we see is both here and then, both present and ancient. The hum continues, softly repeating, as the web stretches across time as well as space. Toward the next silence, the universe arranges itself as a web of light, delicate, vast, softly repeating, to the structure made from stars and dark matter, from gravity and silence. It is both a pattern and a mystery, both seen and unseen, and as we rest within it, we know there is more to come. For beyond the threads of galaxies lies another truth, the slow drift of time itself. Stretching and bending, shaping what the cosmos will one day become. The night is quiet, and in that quiet time begins to reveal its own rhythm. Asterisk.